buddy? Okay, it looks like I'm live. I am sorry, I am a few minutes late. The little boy in the background, that's my son. He's 4 years old. They're on fall break here in Georgia, and he has autism, and sometimes potties can take a little while. So we were dealing with that. I apologize for being late. So happy fall. I hope everyone's doing all right. Doesn't feel like fall in Georgia. We're still in like the 80s. I'd really love some like 60s and 70s degrees. Get a phone call in the middle of all of this. Isn't that fun?
At the box.
What?
Please, we will look at the box.
What box?
Please, we will.
The books. We're going to look at the books, yes. So if you heard, that was my son. That little boy that you hear talking was effectively nonverbal in August of 2017. He communicated all sign language, gestures. We did a little bit of pecs and a couple of other things. So if you double back, you can see him. His speech has exploded. We have him in a special needs pre-K. It is doing wonderful. He has always loved books, and so that has always helped as well. The book that we were going to talk about, we have a couple different ones, but I'm going to do one, and then I'll show you the other ones briefly, but I'm not going to get into them. This is called My First Word Book About Me. We have lots of word books. So if you're looking to build vocabulary, hi Khalid, how are you? Nice to see you. If you're looking to build vocabulary, these are wonderful, wonderful books. They are hardcover books, so they're nice and sturdy. I know a lot of our kids like to bang. They have kind of hard, flappy pages. So, again, nice and sturdy. And I love this one. It's got body parts. So they have face, then they have the body. And so these are great for pointing. So, again, when my son was doing pecs, I didn't always have all of the pictures cut out. Because we were just getting started on that process, and so we had a limited number of pictures. So one of the things I would do is I would cheat, and I'd grab a book, and I'd say, Joseph, where, if he got, let's say he got a boo-boo, oh, where is your boo-boo? And he could point, is it his finger, his elbow, his arm, and he would point there, and so that would be incredibly helpful for him. Again, allowing him, if he didn't have the word, to point, like, what would you like to do, Joseph? Are we going to sleep? Are we going to eat? They have things that they wear as far as clothing, their home, like things that you would find in a house, in a living room, your things, so things that they would own. Maybe you could ask them, what would you like to play with? And they could point to, I want to play with clay, I want to play with paint, I want to look at a book, and different things. Where you live is another good one, so things you would see in that area. What to eat and drink is always helpful, especially for meal times. You can ask them if they'd like something or not like something. And where they like to go. Again, this is wonderful for a child who maybe doesn't have that vocabulary or doesn't have those words necessarily, and so they can point to things. So again, in the stories. The other thing that you can also do, again, if you talk about things like, and what I feel, that's one of my favorite pages. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite pages. What I feel. So do you feel happy, sad, grumpy, excited, proud, scared, sleepy, brave, silly, shy, sorry, lonely, surprised, or worried? And then you have hungry, thirsty, full, hot, cold, sick. Those are excellent. You can also use these in terms of checking for understanding. Decline that call again. I do apologize. I should have put do not disturb on. Let me see if I can do that right now. Bingo. All right, let's see if that works. You can also use this for things like in the story. You can ask them questions to see if they understood what you were asking. So you can say, oh, who was your favorite character in the book we read? And, was it the queen, the king? Joseph, please don't play with that right now. Thank you. As far as that goes, to check for kind of understanding, again, to check that receptive language as opposed to the expressive language. So this is great for a child who maybe doesn't have as much expressive language to either A, build that vocabulary so that they can gain new words, but also if they're not going to say the words, you can still use this kind of similar to a PEC situation as far as that goes. We do have lots. This one has 270 words in it. We also have my first word book, which is very, very similar. Again, 270 words in here. We've got animals. We've got food and drink. We have at home. So again, there's going to be some repetition between the books. Clothes. Let's see. Summertime. I can. So things that they can do. That's always another good one. On the farm. Bedtime. Things that go. So again, we have those. And then if you have a child who has a particular interest, I know one of the things that was always stressed to me by our various speech therapists and OT and everyone else was that play to what the child likes. So if you know you have a child who's very interested in a topic, build things in that context. So if you knew your child was very into gardens or bugs or trains, Joseph's a big train kid, to use that to get them interested and excited, and then to use that to help build the language. Other things we have are things like the first book about food, and again, this is not, this is a neat one because it's paperback. It has stickers as well, so the kids can put the stickers on there. This is also great, what are different things, and you can have them point and show you as far as that goes. These are a little bit more for your child who doesn't necessarily have that vocabulary or that expressive language as well. So again, the one that we mostly focused on today, and again, it's only supposed to be 5 minutes.
Hey.
Oh, we're not going to do that one though, okay? Do you want to come in, Joseph? Do you want to say hello to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, come sit on Mommy's lap. Come. So this is my little dude. Hi. You saying hi? This is Joseph. He just turned 4 in July. And so he has an autism diagnosis. So again, as I said at the beginning, he was effectively nonverbal last year, in August or September, even certainly July. He was using sign language. He was using PECs. They were using sentence strips with him because he just wasn't making those sounds for us. And so he's had a huge boom. And again, I think the special needs pre-K, I think a lot of the therapies we've done, we've also used a lot of books. And again, this was one of our favorites, my first book about me. Khalid, my son is 4. He can say a lot of words, but he just used a sentence with 3 words and didn't answer questions. Okay, so, Khalid, what? Oh, yeah, that's the book about food. So sentences are a lot harder. I know with us, we worked with, more, and then the thing that he wanted was kind of a big start to get those 2 words and to move on to the 3. Bilingual, what other language are you working in? I mean, I'm not a, crazy professional as far as that goes. So we do have some books, if you're worried about vocabulary, that have like first 1,000 words in a certain language, and they're laid out identical. So if you got like the language book, let's just say you spoke Spanish, and then you got the English book, and they're laid out identically so they can see the comparison between the words. I do know that with bilingual, often there is a speech delay, and those children do catch up. That is not always the case. We have a little boy in my son's class who is Japanese, Arabic. I think we have Arabic. I can look. But they were saying, oh, it's just because he's bilingual, but he actually is on spectrum, and he is that was a bigger issue, larger than just the bilingual issues. So props to you for taking some steps as far as that goes. Like I said, I think we have Arabic. I know we obviously have English because that's the primary language we publish in. And that would be one thing to work with, the words, putting them together into a sentence. Like I said, I know we... personally with my son, we did sentence strips, and so we did what was called agent, action, object, and they were color coded. The agent was the thing, so and then the action was green, and then the object, I believe, was red. So I think it was yellow, green, red. And so if he wanted something, he would say, "Mommy, give grapes." And so he would actually take those pictures and put them down, but you could do that verbally with him if he has those words. As far as that goes, if you don't have the pictures and you're not building out a sentence strip. But then we progressed that once he was doing that effectively, his teacher started working with him to say, okay, now you're going to say the words when you put the cards down. And now at this point, after a year in that classroom, he doesn't even really use those cards. He just says them. as far as that goes. So that might be something that you can look into to build those kind of 3-word sentences to work our way up. Obviously, if anyone's watching or if you're watching this on the replay, please make comments. Let me know. I'll check back in. I'll answer questions. Additionally, if there's something in particular you want to see, so Khalid, I will look and see something that might help with sentence structure for next week's live. So I'll see if that'll help a little bit. Hopefully we can find something to help you guys out a little bit. And good luck with your little one. I didn't pay attention. I'm sorry. I should have read better. Your son. I didn't know if it was a son or a daughter. And again, they're 4, so we're working on it. I'm right there with you. I feel that fun. But we don't want to take too long. We want to be respectful of your time. So thank you. Again, the book this week was My First Word Book About Me. Again, we also have My First Word Book, and we have a number of others. I am not doing this to sell books, but I will put a link below. I'm doing this to help people get access to things that can help their children. And so I'll put a link there. It will only be good for U.S. citizens, unfortunately, because my company can only ship to the U.S. However, Usborne does have divisions in other countries. I know that admin is working on getting an English representative for UK customers as well, and then further on and so on. As far as that goes. So if you're in a country other than the U.S., hopefully we can get you a UK rep up to help you out. And if not, and if you're beyond those areas, if you reach out to me, I'm sure I can find a connection and let you at least get in touch with somebody in your area. They are wonderful books. We do love them. Again, they're nice and sturdy. That board book, that floppy page, that's hard to rip, very hard to rip. Trust me, my son has ripped books. So again, we got the nice hard floppy pages, and it is a hardback book, which is great. They know that for a first book designed for younger children, that's very important. Thank you so much for tuning in. I would love to answer more questions and help anyone out in any way I can, and we will go from there. Talk to you next week. If you have any requests, either comment on this post or shoot me a message or otherwise.